welcome to In the Lab. Now today we are going to be looking at the Whoosh Bottle. It is a massive bottle, a water bottle. It's totally empty. It used to have loads and loads of water in, and now you can see it's completely dry, which is really important because for this to work, it has to be a totally dry environment. What we're going to do is this. I have got some ethanol in a bottle. Now ethanol is an alcohol. It's also extremely flammable. So if I pour some of this in here, and I start to just roll it around the inside of the bottle. I'm going to do it near the sink, so if anything does come out, it's just going to go into the sink. My rolling this around is turning the ethanol liquid into an ethanol vapour, and it's going to fill this particular container. So I can still see that there's a fair amount there. I'm keeping my hand over the end so that the vapour doesn't escape too much. And I'm just making sure all the sides are coated in it as it rolls around. And as it does this, it will start to evaporate. Let's have a little look if we've got any more in there. I think we've still got a tiny little bit more. The more we've got, the better the reaction. Hopefully, when I put a lit splint to the top of this, we'll get combustion, which is where a hydrocarbon, that's a molecule containing hydrogen and carbon, reacts with oxygen and it makes CO2, carbon dioxide, and water. It does this very quickly, so quickly it will shoot out at the top while it's on fire, and we should get a very interesting effect, visually and audibly. That's the idea anyway. So, let's get rid of any loose ethanol that we have got. Move it around a little bit further just to make sure it is actually a liquid. It takes a while this, but if it works, it's worth it. Okay, let's tip that out. Anything loose there? Hopefully, one last swirl round of anything that might be in the bottle. Now if I can do this fast enough, we will get a nice effect. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to wash my hand very quickly because I don't want anything flammable on my hand. That would be a very good idea, not to have flammable liquid on me at all. I'm going to put the lid on the ethanol, always a safe thing to do. I'm going to light this particular splint. It's on a very long stick so I can get some distance, and this may be a nice effect. Here we go. That is the Whoosh Bottle. We're going to try it again in a moment, but we're going to swap ethanol for methanol. So a different fuel might have a slightly different effect. Let's find out. There's one thing I want to tell you about this bottle just before we go to the next experiment. I can't actually touch the top because you saw a huge amount of heat going out, and that will have heated up the plastic, but I can touch it here and it is actually quite warm, but not as hot as there. Now I did say we'd made carbon dioxide and water, and you can actually see right in the bottom, if you come over to the sink here, remember it was completely dry, we turned all of the ethanol into vapour. So here's the product of the reaction, the liquid that we made. Quite a lot of water that formed when oxygen combined with the hydrogen from the ethanol. Now let's get on with the methanol. So, our second bottle, I've been doing this for quite a long time, and this time we've got methanol. And if you know your alcohols, then this is a hydrocarbon that has one less carbon atom in its main chain than ethanol. So in case you're interested, there you go. If not, never mind, forget it. Here's methanol. Let's have a look at the impact that it has. I'm going to put it there. I already have a lit splint. Hopefully, this will be exciting. So we have one final bottle, and we decided that we had ethanol for our first bottle, and that was a kind of orangey flame, I think, pretty much with a bit of blue. The methanol one actually looked a little bit red. But our ethanol one compared to the methanol one wasn't quite as spectacular, and it might have been because the first bottle was put on the floor, and while I washed my hands and while we got ready, there was an awful lot of gas vapour that escaped. So hopefully we've got all the vapour that's now been vaporised, and all this ethanol inside is going to be able to be reacted. So I'm going to move this hand out of the way because this has had a bit of ethanol on it. I'm not going to wash it this time, and I'm going to use this hand to do it. So let's see what happens if it's still lit enough. It's not lit enough! That was a very sad anticlimactic one. Let's see if we can get a third one going just in time before the ethanol escapes. It's a race against time, this. Science is super exciting. We need some kind of music at this point. Maybe I'll find some music. Maybe you're listening to the music right now that's exciting as we go for the final one. Ah, there we go. We got it. And it's finished. So there you go. This is called the Whoosh Bottle because it makes a whoosh in a bottle. See you next time.